Welcome to the comic panel. Tonight's topic is going to be about women. Who is your favorite or favorites super women?
Oh, I thought we were going with one, but okay. Well, why don't we talk to Andy? Ask him first. Whoa! You're not Andy.
I am not Andy.
You're
Who are
Maura.
you?
I am Maura.
Okay.
And I think I belong to somebody here on the panel. Who would that
No, I don't know. But who's your favorite superhero that's female?
be? My favorite superhero who's female. I have a couple favorites. Some are from DC, some are from Marvel. On the Marvel side, I have always been a huge Kitty Pryde fan.
Yes. I forgot about
Right from
her.
day
The
one.
dragon, come on.
Through all of her incarnations, Sprite,
Shadowcat.
Shadowcat, yeah.
Ariel.
Ariel, yes. I've kind of lost track with that storyline, but I'm also a Black Widow fan.
Black Widow
Who
rocks.
isn't, of course, now. Ever since the movies, of course, and Scarlett Johansson does a fantastic job with that character. But my
Yes.
all-time favorite has got to be the lovely lady on the wall back here behind Mr. Mike, Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman.
Catwoman
All-time
milk
number
bottle.
one. And yes, I even have a Catwoman milk bottle. And many other memorabilia in the house. This, of course, being the purple Jim Valiant version of Selena Kyle.
So what do you like about Catwoman?
Many things. I think for anybody who loves Batman as you do,
I kind of like him.
I think if you love Batman and everything that goes into the persona of Bruce Wayne and Batman, you automatically have to be a Catwoman fan. If you look
They're
at
intertwined.
Bruce Wayne's life and you think, here is a guy who rose from very tragic circumstances and made himself into this incredible human being, you have to apply that kind of thinking to Selena Kyle.
Exactly.
And as a matter of fact, I would say she's even more admirable a person than Bruce Wayne because, before you go off on me, because Bruce Wayne, although a victim of a senseless crime, had a support base in Alfred and a huge support base in his wealth, his extreme wealth. Selena Kyle, also the victim of incredible tragedy and cruelty in her childhood. She comes from nothing. A penniless kid from the East Side. Mother dies tragically. If you go by the classic storyline,
Golden Age, Silver
yes,
Age-ish. Yep.
her mother committed suicide, and which left her, and I believe in the first storyline that they since changed, she had a kid sister.
Yep.
Leaving her and her kid sister to be raised by their worthless drunk of a father, who dies shortly thereafter. So Selena had no one and nothing to her name. Thrown in orphanages, then into, I think there was a foster care system in place at one point in one storyline. Everything very tragic, and it could have had a very different and horrible and even more criminal outcome than it did. But she didn't, depending on your point of view, in my personal opinion, she didn't succumb to all that tragedy that could have crushed a kid. We're talking a kid at the time out on the streets of one of the cruelest cities in the country, Gotham City, cold and heartless. With all the crazies out there, she took it upon herself to use her intelligence and street smarts to rise above this situation and make herself into a person who is capable of surviving on the streets. She did it through learning from the best who are on the streets, whether they be the boxers on the street. I think some storylines had her in a circus at one point.
Yep.
She was
Pickpocket.
born, we're talking somebody like Bruce Wayne, a normal human being. no superpowers, which is what I love about her. She could be anybody. Just like if you had enough money, Bruce Wayne could be anybody. So I also like the fact that it's true.
I'm not arguing. I
It's
said I wasn't
true.
arguing.
You better not.
I like Catwoman. You know I like Catwoman.
She's got a whip, too,
She's-
which is really cool.
So you're saying like the Frank Miller version of the Dominatrix Catwoman with the whip.
50 Shades of
okay,
Catwoman.
50 Shades of Catwoman.
I have a problem with really great storyline, but I had a problem with the Frank Miller storyline that saw her as the helpless, beautiful prostitute lying, bleeding in the gutter because her pimp beat her almost to death. And, cats come out and start licking her face, and that's how she, came back to consciousness and decided to make herself into the type of person that the pimps would be afraid of on the east side of Gotham. So I liked what she became out of that circumstance in that story. I just didn't like the circumstance that the writers put her in that story. I much prefer the Jim Balent storyline, where she was kind of the Robin Hood of the east side, and helped out the east side of Gotham, helped Batman out in that aspect too, because the east side was the worst side of town, and it just kind of became one less thing for, 99 problems for Batman, but east side ain't one of them.
Right. That's right.
So I like the fact that she also can go, correct me if I'm wrong,
I
in
will.
a lot of cases, I know you will, toe-to-toe with Batman. She is
when they're
an
dancing?
incredible.
You
She's
mean
an
when they're
incredible
dancing?
fighter. She's got incredible natural
skilled.
gymnastic ability, and
And she's a good boxer.
she's a great boxer.
She can fight.
There's a begrudging type of friendship and camaraderie and romantic relationship between the two that makes for some really interesting storylines.
Angst, lots of angst.
No Man's Land. She was crucial to Batman's plans for No Man's Land, and if it wasn't for Catwoman, I dare say he would not have taken the city back.
It had been very difficult. I agree.
So
Well, with the Jim Balent run, all his artwork in that whole run, well, I would say roughly about 80 issues I think he did. I can't remember the number. But there was always something interesting with the Balent stuff. What was that?
yeah,
You were talking about that.
and the Balent covers. It used to drive me absolutely insane looking for this. Supposedly, there was a cat hidden somewhere on every cover.
On every cover.
And
you had to look for it.
You had to look, and you had to look really, really hard. And some of them I found, and some of them I didn't.
I would go nuts trying to find those little things.
So, but it was neat and it was clever. Talk about, I know that you guys spoke in one of your broadcasts about covers.
Oh, you saw that
drawing
episode?
You in. Yes.
All right.
Yes, and I couldn't agree more. As a kid, I remember buying Star Wars comics based solely on the cover, so I could not have agreed with you guys more.
Did you hit
on
like?
those points. I
Did you hit like? Good.
Yes.
It's important.
Always.
It's important.
Always.
We need your likes. So that's good. So basically, Balent's run with his art on that was really good because
It was
there was
good.
many writers, but Balent helped drive it with that art and his covers.
He did, and I actually met him once at a comic book show, and I spoke to him about his run on Catwoman. He actually asked me, so I'm thinking about ditching the purple cat suit, and I actually liked the purple cat suit. I thought it was a nice color for the night and the shadows without just going all black, typical black like so many of the nighttime characters are. The only thing I did have a problem with was kind of her chest size at the time was a little bit exaggerated, but I understand
Power
you
Girl-ish.
need
It was?
to draw
It was
the male
exaggerated?
readers
Catwoman
in.
goes Power
It was
Girl.
big.
Well, I think that if she was on top of a gargoyle, it might have, gravity might have tipped her over a little bit, but
I thought it was very symmetrical.
I'm sure you did.
So Catwoman, basically the Jim Balent run is you love that the most then because that really had her as
Yeah.
as an individual that wasn't a prostitute,
Right.
very strong,
Right.
and very much in control and taking care of business.
Very much empowered, very much in control of her own destiny instead of being placed into situations beyond her control, and also very much in control of how Gotham, and especially the east side of Gotham, were shaping up, because the East Side was always something very near and dear to her heart and something she always took very personally.
Okay, how about you? What's your favorite one?
Oh, I have a handful of the different female characters I like.
Can we keep it down maybe 75?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You brought up Kitty Pryde, and I forgot about her.
She's
and she was always one of my favorites. In the Marvel universe, I like the Phoenix / Jean Grey, Ms. Marvel / Binary, and I like the fact that she can kind of keep those powers and use them both together when she needs to. And there's always Storm. I always liked her.
Classic.
And then when you were talking about and Psylocke,
Oh, Psylocke, yeah.
X-Men always had a lot of beautiful
I'm looking forward
women.
to seeing Psylocke.
Psylocke's
Yeah.
one of my top 5.
And then when it's DC, of course, I was trying to think of all the different DC characters there were. I mean, I like the Michael Turner Supergirl.
Yes.
And I also like,
draws anything well.
what's that? Huntress.
Oh, the Huntress, yes.
And now there is a unique character. I like the Huntress. And when they brought her onto the TV show Arrow, I was all excited because here is one of my favorite female characters. And they just made her like such a whack job. I was so let down
did.
with her
They
on there.
did.
Now, if she comes back, I hope she comes back
They did.
a little bit better way.
Yeah.
But Huntress is one of my favorites.
They did make her very fanatical. And that was a little disturbing.
I felt it went away a little bit too far away from what
Helena
the character
was
should
never
be. Yeah.
supposed to be
She is the
that
offspring
way.
of Batman and
a
Catwoman.
Batman and Catwoman.
That's right.
That's right.
How about you? Who are some of your favorite female
If
characters?
since we're doing multiples, which is cool,
I couldn't pick one.
I couldn't either, but I always remember my very first one I saw and I fell in love with was Frank Miller's Elektra. I remember looking at that cover going, she's a ninja, she has size. Oh, awesome stuff. And her death issue was incredible. I mean, when she gets stabbed by her own weapon. Now, I do kind of like the White Queen. The White Queen, I remember first seeing her in the X-Men issues.
I want to like her. I
But-
just find it hard to
when
like her.
But remember, as a teenager, when I'm flipping up pages, and even though the Comics Code Authority was there, seeing this
Oh,
girl
yeah.
in a lingerie and cape, you're like,
And
who is
fishnet
this?
stockings, Black Canary.
Yes. So, John Byrne, he gets his hands on anything, and, just like Frank Miller. Yep. So I always liked the White Queen, and they made her a good character, too. She wasn't evil. She actually, she did
She's there.
did stuff for the good of Marvel Universe. But Psylocke, I love Psylocke. I bought a hat that when she first came out, they had a hat. I bought that of her. So she's one of my favorite characters. But Kitty Pryde, I always liked Kitty Pryde because she had the dragon. She
Yeah.
had the dragon.
Lockheed.
There could be other characters. I can't think of any.
My
Lady-
friend was a
How
huge
about Lady
Psylocke
Death?
fan,
How about-
too.
how
He
How
doesn't
about
even
Wonder
read it.
Woman?
Wonder
Woman.
Woman. Come on, I can't believe you guys didn't touch on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because she's clay. She's not even a woman.
Well,
Wonder
apparently,
Clay. We call her
apparently
Wonder
they're
Clay.
changing that now, which
'Cause
is
I
not
wrote to them.
cool.
I wrote to them.
Yeah,
You know what, though? I always found Wonder Woman to be just a little bit too much for me to swallow.
Too wonderful?
Too wonderful.
I'll tell you what. When I was a kid, Wonder Woman had to be my favorite show. I'll never forget. I was in 5th grade, and I was so super psyched to see Wonder Woman on TV, and it was really cool to see. But as far as reading the comics, I just found that she was okay. She's from this mystical island. She's a princess. She's perfect. She's got these powers. Now she has a magic lasso. It was just a little bit too
She killed somebody with her
unbelievable.
with her lasso.
I've always found the more believable characters like Selena Kyle or Kitty Pryde with her intelligence. She was just a really smart kid from Chicago to be way more attractive to me.
Understand. Wonder Woman is like the Superman. It's like,
Yeah.
too perfect, too godlike, can't be destroyed by, normal means. At one point, she was invulnerable, but yet she still had bracelets to block bullets. Why would she need those?
Because she's that good, I guess. I
Well,
don't
she
know.
Well,
just
no,
never,
she doesn't want to block a
well,
bullet.
she didn't block bullets anymore with them.
Yeah.
She
She
was
just
still
took
just
it.
part of her costume
Okay.
type of thing.
Well, she should have gave it to the poor guy that got hit with the strays. Here, you take it.
Well,
I think I also always wondered why she had to have jewelry to be effective. Like all the guys
Well,
get
when she
really
first
cool,
started
like
out, she
one
wasn't
piece
invulnerable.
outfits, and they still had her in a bustier and bracelets.
Well, the good news is they are changing a
Yeah,
little
speaking of
bit.
that,
I'm
Yeah.
grateful
of,
for that.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, with David Finch and his wife taking over the Wonder Woman title,
Right.
they geared up her outfit, changed it, gave her a
Yeah.
new look. Do you guys like the new look? I personally like it.
Is that with the
it's
black,
a change.
like leotard?
Yeah,
It's like a
Yeah.
full body
Yeah,
outfit.
I do like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's about time.
It's different, yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems
it
more
did,
practical.
it did need a little bit of an
and- yeah.
upgrade. I'm not crazy about the changing of the origin, her not being made out of clay. To me, that was really cool because she wasn't quite part of the gods. She was still part of Earth. She was something a little bit different. She didn't quite belong totally on Paradise Island, but she wasn't quite welcome in the men's world.
Right.
That type of thing. So she was always this little bit of an outsider. She was always a good idea for truth and justice. Not only could her lasso make you tell the truth, but she was a little bit more interested in justice. She was always a little bit harder than Superman. She was willing to go that extra mile.
She killed Max Lord, right?
She could
Yeah.
kill people. If
Yeah.
it wasn't her main thing, but at the same time, and she was more, a little bit more flexible in that type of thing. She could do things that other characters couldn't. And when you mentioned watching Wonder Woman on TV, yeah, you can't mention Wonder Woman without Linda Carter.
I'll tell you what, Linda Carter
she
was
helped sell it.
absolutely.
She's fantastic.
She was absolutely perfect for that
yeah.
role.
I have to
And to
agree.
I
this
agree.
day, I still think that now I have yet to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, other than just the pictures that I've seen. But to this day, I still don't think there's anybody who can do it justice except Linda Carter.
I agree.
So
Those are
I've
some
yet
pretty
to see the
big boots to
movie
fill.
and yet to see Gal's performance, but
yeah.
we'll see.
Prepubescent males of the 70s agree.
Since you said Catwoman's your favorite female character, I was just thinking about this when I was sitting here. If they, when they did the whole Marvel DC team up,
Yes.
I always thought it would have been cool to have Catwoman and Black Cat in a story. What are your thoughts about that? They're both little thieves. They're the pickpockets and stuff, but the Black Cat has her Black Cat magic powers.
Well,
So a little bit of a
then
mutant.
again, you're talking magic powers against.
Just
an
bad
Black
luck.
Cat's a
Well,
little bit of a
ordinary-
rip-off of Catwoman
I was gonna say
anyway.
there's-
I just
she's-
thought they
yeah,
would be
she's
a
just
good
a
story for the
copycat.
two of them. I always
Yeah.
thought that would be a good team up for the two of them, not to fight each other, but just to be on the same page.
Kind of like when Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn and Catwoman all got together for a couple
Girls' night
episodes.
I don't particularly care for Poison Ivy too much.
No.
She's fun. I like the idea that she has more powers than like other people that Superman or Batman
Yeah.
fights. I
Poison
mean, a lot of
Ivy
the time,
versus Swamp Thing.
you know,
Who wins?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real
That
good
would
Swamp
one.
Thing.
actually be. that
Yeah, I
would
gotta go
actually be-
Swamp Thing.
DC, if you want to use it, you have my permission.
Wow, I bet they're grateful.
Well,
Mike.
you know how people come up with ideas. They want to say, well, they won't do it because I didn't create the idea.
wouldn't mind seeing a Kelly Jones Poison Ivy.
You like Kelly Jones?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got to end it here then. If you have any comments, please leave them in the box below.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube.
And if you like us, give us a thumbs up, like this wonderful lady did on our
Like them on
cover
Facebook.
issues. Thanks very much.